Whenever I realized I was not going to be able to have children of my own, it was just a natural thought to adopt, and so prayerfully began seeking places to adopt through, and which would be the best for us as a family to go through, and that led us to Deaconess. They placed Hailey in our arms the first time. I bawled like a baby, and I bawled so much that the workers at Deaconess, they were so kind, but they would say, "Are you okay, Lori?" and would pat my shoulder. But it was just years of an answered prayer coming to life right in your arms. So it was just probably one of the happiest days of my life. Something I always try to do with both my kids is just to let them know that their birth parents loved them. Try to instill that in them enough that they did not give them away. They placed them where they felt like they would have a good family, a good upbringing, and just wanting them to feel secure in that. That probably was the most challenging thing there, is just making sure they were secure in being adopted.
Something challenging about growing up adopted is that you don't know why you look the way you look or how you act the way you act, because you're not growing up with the parents that created you. And so sometimes that's weird, not knowing why or reasons you do small things, but you just kind of hold on to the hope that one day you'll get to meet the people that made you and you'll find those things out. I don't know that there's ever been a point in time where I didn't think about meeting my birth mom. That's always a question. Probably from the time you're old enough to comprehend that you have a birth mom, you think about that and you wonder, what does she look like? What does she talk like? Things like that. But I probably really got interested more during my teenage years. So meeting her right before I turned 18 was perfect timing because I was old enough to be mature and understand things then. Meeting my birth mom for the first time was very nerve-wracking. It was a very scary experience because you don't know what to expect. You don't know what they look like, what they act like, what they think. You don't know the reasoning yet behind why they placed you for adoption, so you're very curious. But once you see them, it's very exciting and comforting, and everything just kind of falls into place.
It was pretty neat getting to meet my daughter's birth mom. You began to see some similarities in them right off the bat, from little, the shape of their noses to their jawline to everything that's a little different from her and I.
Being adopted has impacted my life in a very positive way, because I know that if I didn't end up in the family I ended up in, my life wouldn't have been the same. That's not to say it would have been bad or anything awful, but it just wouldn't have been the same, and so I know that God put me there for a reason. I've been able to use adoption as a platform in the Miss America pageant system to promote adoption awareness to other people, because lots of people have misconceptions and they just think it's giving a child away because they don't want them or they can't afford them. And while some of those things might be true, there are very legitimate reasons to place a child for adoption, and lots of people don't know that, so I love telling others the positive that can come from adoption and being that life example.